Hello and welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. Now, as some of you will have figured out from the backgrounds of my Wordle in a Minute videos, I was away for a week in the last week, and that led to a couple of scheduling problems where I made mistakes in scheduling videos. And firstly, on the 14th, I put up two videos at the same time, one of which was the regular gas video, and one of which was Belzita and Doomdyut's a rather brilliant Stouralite puzzle, so I hope neither of those cannibalised the other. But there was also, just in case you've only watched one video a day, there is one to catch up on there. And then 2 days ago, Simon had to step in and rescue me when yesterday's gas video was scheduled to go up the day before. So my apologies about that. Well, it wasn't scheduled to go up the day before because I got that wrong, and when that happened I was literally in the air in an aeroplane and didn't know it was happening and couldn't do anything about it. Thank you very much to Simon for putting up, well, for having a spare video which he could put up. That was very handy, and I'm grateful to him, so that you didn't go missing your 2 videos a day. Anyway, back to regularly scheduled videos now, hopefully for a while. And this puzzle, and thanks to Cyprus, it was a very nice holiday. Right, 2 lines and a dot by Jim Taylor. I love this video. This is kind of, when I sent Simon the puzzle that turned out to be the sort of miracle 11 by 11 puzzle, the absolutely fabulous one by Fafford called Madrigal. That had a grid that was almost completely empty, and, as Simon pointed out, a very spare rule set that was quite quickly established. To be fair to this puzzle, which has no given digits in the grid and only 2 lines and a dot, there is only one negative constraint rule. Well, yeah, pretty much only one negative constraint rule. There's a slight twist on the normal German whispers, but it seems astonishing to me that this puzzle, just looking at this grid, will have a unique solution. Just looking at this grid makes me think maybe that those lines and dot should look like some sort of animal or something, but I'm not sure what. Maybe a yapok. I don't know. Sorry, that's an in-joke for Wordle in a Minute fans. Now, yeah, this came in from Jim Taylor. I don't think Jim's ever written to us before, but this puzzle looks incredible, and I'm really looking forward to giving it a try. Don't forget, there is just a moment left to enter the Glum Hippo competition, to try and win the plushy hippo that Philip Bloomer has very kindly sponsored, sourced, obtained, and is ready to send to the drawn winner. And that's on Patreon with all the XY differences puzzles. It's really, really good. Now, what else? So next month, we're going to be bringing you an Alice in Sudoku Land puzzle pack, which I think you will enjoy a lot. So do join us on Patreon. It's, as Simon regularly says, the best Sudoku club in the world, and it literally is. Of course, a lot of the people on Patreon are also on Discord, and you can join them for absolutely free there, not just for the incredibly low price of the Patreon subscription. And there's a lot of chat about Sudoku there. So those links are in the description field, along with links for our merchandise and all of our apps. And the next major app coming out is going to be a line Sudoku app, so it's going to be a bit like this to some extent, I imagine. Now, what are the rules of this puzzle, which is the first link in the description field? They are these, that normal Sudoku rules apply. That's the numbers 1 to 9 in every row, every column, and every 3x3 box. Hurrah. Identical digits cannot be a knight's move apart. Now, this is the negative constraint rule. So if you had a 5 there, none of these cells could contain a 5, because each one is a knight's move, a chess knight's move away from that. So that's part of the rules. No knight's move identicality. Along a line, there is no repeated digit. This is the twist on German whispers. But neighbours still have a difference of at least 5. So these 2 digits cannot be 3 and 7, because the difference is too small. But they could be 3 and 8, or 1 and 9, say. lots of possibilities, but some are ruled out. And just check that. There is no repeated digit along each line. They're all different digits. Digits joined by a black dot, we only get one black dot, have a ratio of 1 to 2. So those are the rules of the puzzle. Very simple rules to understand, especially if you've watched our videos before. Do give it a try on the link under the video. I don't know how hard it is, so check the video length if you want a clue, although a long time might result from me faffing around a lot or getting something wrong and rewinding, who knows. So anyway, let's have a look at this puzzle. Let's restart my clock. Let's get cracking, see how we do. So, the green lines must be the place to start, given that there's almost nothing in the grid. This one has 8 cells on it. Right, so amongst the things we know about German whisper lines, normal German whisper lines at least, is they can never have a 5 on. So the digits on this line, since they don't contain repeats and they don't contain a 5, must be the other Sudoku numbers. Now, a second thing we know about German whisper lines is that they must alternate between digits higher than 5 and digits lower than 5, and that hasn't changed with this rule set. So those digits which are in alternating positions on the line will have one polarity, higher or lower than 5, and these greens will have the other. Now, the next thing we know about, okay, yes, this is more helpful than usual. The next thing we know about German whisper lines is where 4 and 6 appear on them. So imagine trying to put 4 on this line, and we know it must appear on this line because this is all the Sudoku digits except 5. We've worked that out. Where does 4 go? Now, on a normal German whisper line, you could not put 4 here because its neighbours see each other. They would both have to be 9, which is the only digit which is 5 away from 4. So that can't be the case because they would clash in the column. So 4 can't go there. Fair enough. Normally, on a German whisper line, you could put a 4 here and put 2 9s there, but we've got this rule that there's no repeated digit on a line. So the only place 4 can go, and the same applies to 6, which only has one possible German whisper neighbour, is on the ends of the line. So that is a 4-6 pair. Their forced neighbours, 1 and 9, appear next to them. And I think we know a way of determining 2 pairs out of these remaining 4 cells, which have to be from 2, 3, 7 and 8. And the best way to express that, what's that? Yes, okay, let's imagine that purple is low, so that's a 4 and that's a 1. Then these other 2 purple cells are 2 and 3. Now the question I'm asking you is not which way round do they go, but where does 7 go on the line? And the answer to that is, if these were 2 and 3, 7 couldn't go here because it would be touching 3. It would have 3 as a neighbour on the line, and that's too near. So 7 would have to be here if that was 2 and 3. Similarly, if that was the high digits, 7 and 8, then 3 couldn't appear here and would have to be here. And the same goes if you consider these 2 green cells for either being a 2, 3 or a 7, 8 pair. The 3 or 7 will have to appear here. So that is a 3, 7 pair. That leaves this to be a 2, 8 pair. That's fine to be neighbours of each other because they're 6 apart. And we have filled in 2 possibilities for each cell along the line. Now, the black dot tells me, well, half or double of this digit. So 2 or 8 if it was a 4 there, and 3 if it was a 6. Ah, no, we need to think about this line. This is also 8 cells long. So all the same strictures apply to this line. Let's use slightly different colours for the alternating cells, if I've got those right. Yellow and red are the alternating digits, but exactly the same stuff applies. There cannot be a difference in how it applies for positioning 4 and 6, so they must go there. 1 and 9 inside them, and exactly as we worked it out here, 3 and 7 to be the neighbours of 1 and 9, and 2 and 8 to be in the middle of the line. Now, obviously, we can tell that this is not the purple 4-6, it's the green 4-6, because it's in the same row and box as the purple 4-6. So we've just learned that yellow is green in this case and red is purple, and we have the polarities of all these cells specified, and specified correctly. Now, what is that telling us about this 2, 3 or 8? Well, not a lot, I don't think. It either sees a 2-3 pair there and is 8, and 8 would be there, that's fine, or it sees an 8-7 pair there and it is 2 or 3, so I don't... Oh yes, look, where does purple 1-9 go in the central box? We can place it exactly. Because of that and that, we know that the purple 1-9 digit, which is obviously not the same as the green 1-9 digit, it doesn't go there. It doesn't go there by knight's move from that one, so it must go there. So now I think, okay, I'm beginning to think this is a whole colouring puzzle. We're going to have to place these digits around. So I don't think this green and purple colour scheme is going to cut it anymore. I'm going to change horses midstream and go with a full colouring option. Right, let's stop what I've been doing. Get rid of those colours and we will colour everything a different colour. So we'll go red, green, grey, purple, yellow, blue, orange, dark green. There we go. So these are the 8 colours of the non-5 Sudoku digits. And we know that this is the other 4-6. It's not the red one, so that's dark green. So I'm basically going to try and colour a portion of the grid as long as I need to until I get some numbers out of this. And actually the black dot is probably the key to breaking the sort of symmetry that would apply otherwise. Now that 1-9 is the orange one, isn't it? So there we go. So there isn't just one colour for high and one colour for low. There is basically one colour for every digit 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Oh look, I can do grey in this central box as well. Those aren't grey. That's not grey by knight's move, so it's there. Purple. Look, purple's in one of these two. That is very useful. It can't be there by knight's move, just explaining that. Now we get a fix on this digit suddenly, and this is gonna unwind. Okay, I'm soon going to end the colouring, I now predict. Right, what is this digit? It's 2, 3 or 8. Now what colour is that? That is either grey, purple, yellow or blue, because they are the digits 2, 8 and 3, 7. So this is grey, purple, yellow or blue. However, it's not grey because it's a knight's move from that grey. It's not yellow because it's in the same column as that yellow. So it's purple or blue. Now we've just discovered that purple is in one of those two cells. And that is telling me that this is not purple, because if purple's there, it's a knight's move away. If purple's there, it's in the same row. That is not purple. The only colour left to it is blue. And therefore, these two blues must be the same digit, and that one has it as 2, 3 or 8. This one has it as 3 or 7. Blue is 3. That is really nice. That's a really nice start to this puzzle. That tells us now that red is 6, and now we can just use high-low, keeping the 5 or more rule up here. 6, 1, 7, 2, 8, 3, 9, 4. And on this one, exactly the same sequence of digits. 6, 1, 7, 2, 8, 3, 9, 4. This orange is a 9. I don't need the colours anymore at all because they've done their job and told me what the numbers are. So there we go. Bye-bye colours. And now I can do a night's move Sudoku, basically. The markings in the grid have yielded a lot of fruit. This 1 can't be in any of those cells, so that's a 1. It can't be there in column 6, so 1 is up here. Let's keep going if I can. No, I can't keep going with 1s. It's in one of those 3 cells in box 1. Ah, well, okay, I'm going to mark that briefly. Now, 1 down here, that 1 sees that cell as well as those. This 1 sees those 2. So 1 is in one of those 2 places, and therefore one of these 2 places in row 8. It can't be there because of the knight's move. It's in one of these 2 in row 5. Ah, that keeps it out of these 2. And that means the 1 in row 3 can't be anywhere here. So it must be in box 1, and that is not a 1. 1 I was going to say is in one of those 2 positions, but this has formed an X-wing, ruling 1 out of there. The other way to look at that is the only place 1 can go in column 7. It's not here because we know there's a 1 in one of those 2 positions, so it must be here. That's a 1. And that doesn't fix this X-wing. Sorry, I thought I'd taken that pencil mark out. So we've got an X-wing over here on 1s and an X-wing over here, and I don't think they get resolved by the knight's move anywhere. But we've got a lot of information now. 7. We can place 7 in this box because these 7s rule out all of those cells by Sudoku, and one of them rules out that by the knight's move. So we get 7 there. 7 will be in one of those positions. Not going to mark that. 2 we know is in one of these 2. 4 is easy. That's got to be there. 6, all of those are ruled out from being 6. So 6 goes there. 1, 9, 4, 6. 3 can't be in those 2. Yeah, obviously it's in one of those. Right. What digit is best to look at next? There's a 6 in one of those cells. Oh, this 9 sees all of those positions by either knight's move or regular Sudoku. So we get 9 somewhere there. Then 9 will be in one of these 3. Didn't help all that much, oddly. Okay. I thought this was getting easier, but it's still quite a stiff test, to be honest. That is just a 2 or a 5 by ordinary Sudoku. So the central markings are for when I only have a couple of candidates left. The corner markings are for when a number is confined somewhere within a box. And I luckily am so used to interpreting these that I don't really have to think about that anymore. However, okay, these include 2, 5, 7 and 8. They all see that cell. Is that helpful? Not really. Ah, this 2 sees all of those cells. Yeah, this is always an interesting position looking into a box, especially when these diagonal lines can't be the same digit. So that worked for the 9 here. It saw all of those cells. This 2 sees all of those cells. So that means 2's in one of these 2. That doesn't really help. 2's somewhere there. I thought that was going to give me something. Doesn't. Right, let's have a think about this box. 3 and 8 are placed. 1, 2 and 9 have been restricted. This can't be 7 or 6, so it must be 4 or 5. So what, I hear you cry. Oh, come on, Mark. Find something that actually helps in this puzzle. I'm really not sure what to do next. I thought finding the digits would be really breaking the back of it, but the pencil marking is pretty tough. 876, so 9. 9 in this box can't be in those places because of this one, so it's somewhere up there. That all of those see this cell, which is therefore ruled out from being a 9. It doesn't really get anything done, does it? I need to find a digit that is reaching into a box and doing something useful there. Ah, tricky. Sorry if you've spotted something and you're shouting at me to look at it. 7 is in one of those, because it can't be there by the knight's move. Ah, and 7 can't... Oh, what's this cell? That is also 2 or 5, just like that one, because it can't be 1, 4, 9, 3, 6 or 8 on vertical and horizontal, and that 7 sees it as well. So that's 2 or 5. Now, if it was a 2, it could be 1, 4, 9, 3, 6, 7, 2. Oh, now I was going to look at 7. 7 can't be there, and now it can't be there because they all see that. So 7 ends up somewhere in these places. That doesn't really do anything either. I need to find something better than what I'm finding at the moment. 7, 6, maybe it's just ordinary Sudoku staring me in the face. 9 is in one of those 3 places in this box. 7, 4, 1, 6, 2, 9, 1, 3, 7, 6, 4. These are from 2, 5, and 8. 6 is up here somewhere. That means 6 can't be in these cells. Ah, is that interesting? 6 in row 3. Where's it? Can't be in those or there. Could that be 6? That would put a 6 here. 6 into one of these 2. Got that one. Ah, those positions for 6 mean that can't be 6 because it would break with those. So 6 is down in one of these. It doesn't really advance the ship forward, does it? I'm not making the boat go faster today. 6, 2, 1, 4. This one sees both position. Oh well, it sees that 3 on the knight's move, and it sees that 8 and that 4. So this is 5 or 9. Now, it can't be 5 because then you couldn't put a 5 in this box. Yeah, there we go. That's interesting. So this is a 9. So that's not a 9. So 9 is definitely in one of those cells. That means 9 can't be in those 2. And it can't be in those 3. So 9 in box 1. This is almost helpful, but not quite. Is in one of those 4 cells. I'm not going to mark that, it's too many. But maybe I do need to start thinking about these groups of cells acting together. They all acted on that. I didn't really get it from that. 3 can't be here or here. It's now confined, well actually it always was confined to one of those 2 places. Which keep it out of there because they both see that cell. And all that means is 3 is going to be somewhere in this extended corner, losing its religion down there. And in this corner, wow, 3s are certainly confined somewhere in the corners. They can't both be in the actual corner, unfortunately. And then there's a 3 somewhere up here, and I've known that for a while. Can 3 be there? It's quite likely to be in one of those. Ah, this is not coming easily at all. Right. Now, whatever this is, it is 2, 5, 8 or 3, and that can't be in these cells. I might need to go back to colours. This is very weird. So if it's a 2, it can be there. If it is 5 or 8, and it can't be 3, then it is here. Gosh, I'm not doing very well at this. 2. Oh no, that can't be 9 now since we placed this 9. So 9's definitely in one of those. It doesn't really... Oh, and 1 is in one of those as well. Yes, that's a 1-9 pair. So it doesn't have a 3 in. So 3 is now definitely in one of those cells. That's not a 3, and that is 3. And that doesn't at all tell me where 3 is in this box. 8, 7, 3, 6, 1, 9. This is 2, 4 or 5, but it's not 4. That's 2 or 5. That's a 2, 5 pair. This is the only place for 4 in the row. That's how I learned that. That can't be a 4 by Knight's move. So we get a 4 up here somewhere at the top of column 3. This can't be a 4 by Knight's move. So we've got a 4 down there. Then we've got a 4 in one of those 2 positions at the top of column 4. It can't be here by Knight's move. But the good thing about those is they take 4 out of row 1, column 3, because both of those see it. So that's not 4, and we've suddenly placed 4 in box 1. Now, I'm still trying to carry on being fairly careful here, because it's very easy, especially for me, to make a just random Knight's move misplacement, especially when I'm beginning to get stuck, I think. So I want to just be cautious. One of those is 5 or 8 now. That hasn't changed this cell. Hasn't really changed enough. Could 3 be in those positions? I think it could. 4. Those 2 only see cells that were already ruled out from being 4 in box 9. 2, 1, 6. Oh, I keep thinking I've kind of got something that's going to get me a lot further in this puzzle, and then finding out it turns into a chimera. 7. That can't be 6. 6 was in one of these 2. We did work that out earlier. That can't be 6, and these can't be 6. Why am I no closer to knowing anything about 6? I want to know more. Well, I want to know more about all sorts of digits, and I'm not getting that yet. So just need to be cautious. If I could find another pair like that 1-9 pair, that did turn out to be helpful. Now we've got 3, 9, 4. Those 1, 7 and 6 all have to be placed in this area. 7 was going to be confined in that tetromino. And it is a bit interesting that 7 can't be in any of those cells. Sorry, that's absolutely not true. 7 is in one of those cells, and they all see that cell, so that can't be a 7. So these are all ruled out from being 7. So there is a 7 in that tetromino and in that one. And what do I learn from that? Not a lot. I'm missing some very obvious knights move now, I'm sure of it. 1, 8, 3, 9, 4. 2, 5, 7 and 6. I'm thinking about this column again in case I'm missing something there. Don't know what it is, but I could be. I don't know. This is very tricky. That's 2, 5 or 8 to go with those. I keep wanting to think about this group being, okay, this can't be, well, these contain 2, 5, 7 or 8. And they all see that cell, which also can't be 4, 1 or 3. So that is 6 or 9. No, it's not. It can't be 9 because both of those positions for 9 in box 2 see it. So that is a 6. And that has been the key cell. And I spotted it ages ago and didn't know how to use it. Dope. So we get a 6 there. There's a 6 in one of these two. That's forming an X-wing with 6s there. We know there was going to be one here. There is now a 6 in one of these two cells, and I don't know which. 6 and 4. Right. What about 9s? These can't be 9. That can't be 9. Because of these 9 positions. So there's a 9 in one of those 3. But they don't resolve with these two. Or do. No, they don't. If that was a 9, that has to be a 9. If either of those are a 9, that's a 9. Oh, is this 6 not done any more for me? Again, it felt like a fresh and interesting discovery. Oh, this 8, look, that's been there for ages, maybe. Well, no, this has helped since I put that 6 in. That 8 sees all of these cells, so it's not anywhere there. That's very good, because now 8 is confined here along with 9. So that's an 8-9 pair. We can place 4 in the box. That feels like it's a discovery. This is a 3-5 pair. They both see this cell, which, oh no, that's not a 3-5 pair because I've got a 3 down here, so they're resolved. Right, now 5, though in fact we've got 3 in the central box and we can do 5. This is now a 2-8 pair. Are they not done by a knight's move? Apparently not. This is a 4-8 pair in the column. And they see both of these, that doesn't help. This is a 5, that's all it can be. We've got a sort of I-wing. 5 is in this far left corner. Gosh, still not going fast in this puzzle, but that is probably wise. That can't be 3. So we've got 3's in the corners. 3 is now in one of those 2 cells. Is that? It doesn't help at all. And one of those 2 and one of those 3. No, don't know. Okay, that 8-9 pair both sees this cell, which is 2, 5 or 7. Not helpful. 1. We know. No, that doesn't add anything. Come on, something I've done up here must have really resolved some cell that is probably very obvious to most people. That one can't be 6, 4, 5, 2, 1, 8 or 3 on the knight's move. So that is 7 or 9. For that to be a 7, this would be a 7. But for it to be a 9, that would be a 9. I don't know if either 9 does a little more forcefulness. If that's a 9, okay, if that's a 9, that's a 9, that's a 9, that's a 9, That's a 9. We've already got 9s in those positions, and that's all fine. There's no knights moves there, so that didn't resolve anything. Oh, back to the drawing board. Now, we know one of these is a 5. Maybe this can't be a 5. Then that would be a 5. Then you'd have a 5 somewhere there. One of those two. It's not going anywhere. Right. 4, 8, 7, 3, 6, 3, 1, 9, 4. 6. We've got 2, 5, 7, and 8 in these cells. That 2, 8 pair doesn't see them. It's not getting easier. That one is only 5 or 9. It sees 6, 1, 3, 4 in the column, 8 in its box, 2 in its row, 7 by knight's move. 5 or 9. So if that was a 5, that would have to be a 9. Then you'd have 7, 6, 1, 2. Only be one way of filling it in this box if that was a 5, which feels quite restricted, but not enough. Oh, that 5 is seeing that cell, which is one of only 2 places for 5 in row 6. So that's a 5. Well, that's quite interesting, surely. Yeah, that can't be a 5 by knight's move from there. So the 5 in column 8 is up here in one of those 2. And then 5 has to be in one of these 2. And I can't tell which. But this is now 2 or 7 if it's not 5. Either of those aren't ruled out by knight's move from anywhere. Gosh, I'm making a meal of this puzzle now. Okay, I'm colouring this cell. Let's try that. Purple there, that must be purple. That can't go in either of these, so we get purple in one of those 2. What else do we know about purple, which is 2 or 8? Ah, because that's purple, that can't be purple, and purple is 2 or 8, so it must be down in this bottom row. And that rules out these, so it must be in row 7 in box 9. Then it has to be in one of those 2. Bother, 2 is possible in one and 8 in the other. And is that as much as I know about purple? Come on, purple. Come to Mark's rescue. I don't see how to resolve. So if it's 2, then it must be here. So these would all be the purple cells. And we could add in the 2 that we've got. And I don't know what else we could do. If it's 8, 8 is down here. That's also purple. That must be purple. 8 is purple. If purple is 8, we've got 8 in one of those 2, which are going to rule out row 2, column 1. So then 8 would be up here, and that would fix where 8 was, and we'd have that pattern of 8s, and none of those have a knight's move problem. And they would all be fine. There must be something that is more straightforward than tracing numbers around the grid. What am I not getting about this puzzle? It's gonna, I mean, everything else I've found has been sort of kick-selfably obvious if I had just looked for it before, but it's knowing what to look for. That is the hard part. Now, this 5 thing is definitely true, isn't it? One of those is a 5, and one of these 2 is a 5. Now, why doesn't that help with the given 5s we've got in the grid already? 5 has to be in one of those 3. Yes, 5 in this column. We can just write it in. Isn't that bizarre? I was not seeing that at all. But that 5 spots those 2 cells, and this one spots those 2. So 5 is there. Now, 2 is in one of these 2. That surely is useful. Now, 2 can't be there. There's a 2 in one of those 2 and a 2 in one of those 2. So there's a 2 in one of these 2. I have a feeling this is going to peter out immediately. Does that 5 get anything else done? I don't think it does. It leaves all of these possible for 5. But we've got a 2, 7, 8 triple here now. Is that any use? No. No, it is not. Purple. Purple in row 2. Can't be there by either Knight's Move or Straight Sudoku. It is 2 or 8, so it could be in one of those positions. If it's 8, no, we get different results in box 9. That's annoying. So I'm still not looking at the right things. Haven't broken up the 1 X-wings anywhere. Haven't really got to the root of 9s. I've got a little 2 by 2 of 6s there. That's a pattern you can get in Knight's Moves puzzles. Okay, 2. 2 is in one of those 2. 1 in this column is in one of those. Oh yeah, because it's on the X-wing. Of course it's in one of those 2. 2, 7 and 8 go here, and none of those are ruled out. Oh, goodness gracious. So if that's a 7, we get a 7 here. We've got all of these given 7s. We get a 7 in one of those 2. We get 7 there for definite. That makes that a 7. And there's a plausible X-wing down here. My. Maybe I was onto something by thinking about 5 forcing 9 here. What did that do? It did quite a lot of damage, didn't it? It made 5 there, 9, 7, 6, 1, 2. That 2 would force 2 and nothing else. This should be a bit more straightforward. I lament my inabilities. Right, come on. Bit of rededication and just figuring out. I'm probably 1 insight away, even though all the last few insights have not led to the puzzle capitulating. I feel that we just need 1 more. There is no negative constraint. I've not forgotten a rule. I don't think, you know, we've got the Knight's Move. We're working hard with that. We're not getting anywhere with it, but that's the only negative constraint I'm allowed. So if that wasn't a 5, that would be a 2. That would make this a 5. That doesn't do any little thing. So there doesn't seem to be any problem with that being a 2. In fact, we know one of these is a 2. If that's a 2, that's a 1. This is definitely 7 or 8. Is it? No, it's not. I don't know why I even said that. Because I was thinking that those two saw it. Also, I don't know what I was thinking. 491365. It's 2, 7 or 8. What was I thinking? Why did my brain think that was not a 2? Because if that is a 2, it places both of those 2s by knight's move. Ooh, this is interesting. Then you get 2s. That is really interesting. If that's a 2, the whole thing does break down. What's the quickest way of seeing that? Well, it's because that puts a 2 here. It also puts a 2 here by knight's move in that box. And it puts a 2 here, and suddenly there's nowhere for 2 in column 7. I mean, that's a bit complicated, but it does work, so that can't be a 2. I don't know if my brain, I don't believe my brain did see that, but I'm seeing that. That is now 2. It doesn't prove it's purple, but it is 2. Trouble is, that doesn't see either of these positions by anything. We've got a 7-8 pair here now. Surely they both see this cell, which is 1, 2, or 9. Okay, I predicted that one more revelation would be enough, and I was totally wrong. This is 6, 7, or 8. Still don't know whether purple was 2 or 8. That's so irritating. Still don't know anything more about 2. That's 7, 8 pair. They both see both of these cells, so they're already seen by a 7 and 8. So that is thoroughly uninteresting. Oh, this can't be a 3. I thought I'd taken that out before. 4, 7, 3, 8. This also can't be 5 or 9 or 6. So it is definitely 1 or 2. It's not 2, because 2 is in one of those cells. So this is a naked 1. 4, 7, 3, 8, 9, 5, 6, and a 2. Yeah, that is a 1, and that isn't. Now, is that getting us home? I don't think it... Well, it stops that being a 1. It fixes that 1 X-wing over on this side of the puzzle. This can't be a 2, so 2's up here. This is 7 or 9 now. We're limiting these remaining cells here quite markedly, but not enough to actually fill them in, of course. That 1, 4, 7, 3, 8. This is 2 or 9 now. This is not 2 or 6, which it also sees, so that's 5 or 9. Come on, puzzle. Give Mark a break. 8 has to be, I think we've known this for ages probably, that 8 has to be in one of those. Oh no, 8's not there, is it? Right, 8. 8 in this column is fixed, it's there. This is a 7, and now we know the identity of purple, which was 2 or 8 and has become 2. That probably doesn't really matter, but anyway, purple is 2. I will keep on marking that. So that's not purple, and this is 2. Okay, that's good. And it's down here. That's purple, and that's not. And purple is 2, and this is healthy. This is helpful. This is going to finish the puzzle, actually. That's a 5. That's not a 2. 2, 4, 8, 3, 1. We've got, this was a 3, 8 pair now. 3, 8, 1, 6, 4. This can't be 5. Okay, that's not... Yeah, but there is a 5 therefore in one of these two cells and not here. So that's a 9, that's a 7. This is 5, that's 6. Can't do the 4-8 pair. That's a 1-9 pair. 2, 4, 7 or 8. 2, which is purple, is in one of those cells. 2 is purple, so that's purple. Oh. Okay, 2 becoming purple didn't finish the puzzle for me. We've got that 8, 9 pair. What's this? 2 or 9. This is just a pair here, so I can get rid of the corner mark. Ah, and they both see that cell, so that can't be a 9. That's an 8. Right, this is all good. 8 there, 3 there. That's now 7. That's 3. 3 was in the corner up here, but not in these other corners. 3 is slightly away from them, and 3's are finished. Have I yeah, this is actually done. That's a 2-9 pair in the column, so that's 5, that's 7. Right, puzzle. That's a 5. That isn't. That's not a 7 anymore, obviously, so it's 2. Yes, we are going to finish now. Let's at least make those ones purple, just to continue the purplification of the grid where I could. That's a 2. This is a 4 to finish the row. This is a 6-9 pair, and they are resolved by this 9. This is a 6-8 pair. They're resolved by ordinary Sudoku. This is a 1-7 pair. Similarly, this is 1, 9, 8. We've got 4, 7 and 6 to place. This has taken too long, but at least we're there now. And there we go. That is the solution. That took ages. It's a very good puzzle, Jim, but it's a little attritional for me. The comments will tell me if I was missing something absolutely heinously obvious in the middle. And yeah, I mean, when I did the kind of look ahead and it broke with 2s, that was very useful, but it may not have been necessary. Very nice puzzle, very intriguing that the original shape of that, the 2 lines and the dots are enough with just that twist to the rules about the German whisper and, of course, the knight's move constraint. It's a brilliant construction, very interesting. Hope you had a go at that. Hope you did a bit better than I did, and hope to see you again on the channel soon. Bye for now.